Welcome back, everybody. My name is Uhfgood, and today we are continuing. I am continuing on the Blender Guru beginner tutorial, the famous donut tutorial that's been updated for Blender 2.8, as part of my learning for my game, my adventure game. So I have a lot of stuff to learn. I got to learn some drawing, got to learn music composition. I mean, I know I'm okay at programming. I know a little bit about drawing. I used to do it a lot when I was a kid, mostly cartoon characters though. I wouldn't what you would call an artist, or I'm not a musician. I made a few games a long time ago, and I made music for them, and they kind of sucked, but I did it, and so I'm gonna have to do it again until finally I can get enough either money or support to do it properly. So I'll have to do everything myself. And so I'm going to go ahead and pull up what I did today and kind of run you through what I did today, if you are interested. And as usual, as everybody says, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe, comment, blah blah blah. And it's like, if you're new here, go ahead and do this stuff. Well, what if you haven't seen my video yet? But I get it. I get it. Some people might turn off the video partway through, and so they want to get in the thing about liking and all that. I just want people to look at my videos. But in any case, it isn't. It's only partly that I want to. It's only partly because I want to. I want to get viewers. It's partly because I'm documenting my process, my journey of going through, going through my game development journey. So, and the particular game, the development of the game of Enchanted Lands. So, without further ado, let us get to it. And I will go ahead and shrink myself here. That, which is nice. And go ahead and resize this. I don't know why it always opens up real big like that. Why can't make it stay? It must be some preference in VLC that I can change. Any case, you can see the donut there, and I'm going to speed it up. See, I didn't do quite as much today, and usually I don't do that much anyways. But I usually do at least 2 hours, and today I've only did just over an hour, almost an hour and a half, but not quite. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to speed it up. You just kind of go through what I did, if I can remember it, which is interesting. So upcoming here, I believe, because Andrew Price did it in his video, duplicated the donut and icing to keep it. And I did this a couple of times because of the way I did it. Because I did at first here I do like a Shift M, and all it does is actually make the collection and then add those things to the collection without actually moving them into a new collection. So I had to redo it. But in any case, so yeah. And actually, if I can keep up with myself here, I'm going to try to increase the playback speed even more. It's going to 8 times, which is, I think, about the max. If I go to 16 times, it messes up the picture and stuff, and even in this it'll be a little corrupt depending on how much movement there is. Okay, so basically I added an extra subdivision surface on here to add some more, I guess, some more detail in there. See, and so now we're in sculpting mode, and I think we start on the that was just the draw on the sculpting mode, and it kind of makes it lumpy, and if you hit control, it actually does an indent on using the drawing mode. And so basically did this thing where it went over the deal here. I believe you press F. I have to check it out, but I believe you press F to change the size of the radius, and then the Shift F to show how intense it is, the intensity of it, or whatever. I don't know if it's like, maybe it's the strength, I guess, maybe. Anyways, you can see there it's a little bit more indented than I wanted it, and so later on I fix that. Yeah, it's not like much to say, you know. So it's a time lapse, right? I mean, it's not technically a time lapse. It's funny because I can just fake a time lapse by playing, by I can fix a time lapse by see, that's the thing. I didn't do the holes there, and that's because, what did I do? There was something that I did that fixed that. I can't remember right. Something I didn't like apply at the right time. I forget. Oh, that's right. It's because the icing on a certain mode was hidden somehow when I did the thing, and somehow it made the holes there. I'm not sure how it did it or why it did it that ways, but somehow that messed it up. Maybe it'll pop up here. You know, I know this is not much of a commentary of me. You know, oh, what did I do? Okay, so you see here. Here, I'll pause it real quick. Well, I mean, you just saw what just happened here, but I'll pause it real quick. In edit mode over here, when I was messing with the icing before, I had only this selected and the rest was hidden. So somehow when I add the subdivision on it, it did this, but somehow it did it based on this like edge for some weird reason. So I had to go in and I had to unhide it and then fix it that way. So you can see where I unhide it and where it kind of fixes here in just a sec, I think. Yeah, no, these videos are kind of boring. I admit it. But if you stay with it, okay. So here I'm fixing the view thing. Now here's the deal here. Before I go, see that hanging part right there? And actually, see if I can back it up here. See this overhanging part and down here? Those are actually fixed. Andrew Price does actually address them later on in the video. By the way, this is level 1 part 5 video of the Blender beginner tutorial, the donut tutorial for 2.8. And he actually addresses that, and he actually does that by having you select faces and then kind of pull them in. You grab the back faces and then you vertices, and you have proportional lighting on, you pull them in. But I was starting to add in, this is the, what do they call that? I forget what tool is that. It's the, anyways, it's that blob it up. It's to add a blob onto it or whatever. And I forget what it's called, but it's this little thing with the little protrusion out the side there. It's the 5th tool down here. So it adds some extra like volume to whatever you click on to simulate like drops. It's like when they do donuts, after they fry them, they'll dip them in some sort of icing, or they'll pour some icing on, or in some cases what they do is they have a thing that's underneath, and they like submerge them and then they pull them out, and then the icing drips off the side. So that's what it's kind of trying to simulate. So all this time here, after doing this, I've noticed my little overhangs, and I thought because Andrew Price's donut looked good, that there's something wrong, that I needed to mess with it. So I just began, pushing it in with the draw tool. Here I think I removed. So yeah, I was trying to affect the geometry and trying to get it to work, and that wasn't working. So I decided to not do it that way. In fact, I was kind of on the right track, because you grab some vertices and then you do the proportional editing and it brings it with you. So I could have done it that way. But instead what I did is I did this draw mode. With Shift F, you increase the strength, and with the you increase the radius with F. And so basically I kept kind of indenting these parts in here. Then I would go back to the protrude or whatever that's called, and I try to bring some of it back out. And then I keep on doing this until finally I got to kind of where I wanted, and I smoothed that out a little bit. So it's not perfect, but in the end, it actually does get the job done. And so my donut kind of looks unique, and so it was okay, because the end result is actually pretty good. And you'll see the end result here, I believe. If not, I'll have it in the thumbnail, or maybe I'll leave the link to on Imgur to the actual photo. So I just kept on pressing that in, pulling it out, adding junk to it. And there's actually a smooth, this one down here, this orange one, this like half orange thing, is a smooth tool down here. And I eventually used it to smooth some things out. But I kind of fixed that, and I kind of messed with that until finally it actually looked halfway decent. And so that's kind of what you see, that's the smoothing right there. And then I actually started smoothing. It was still working on the icing, because when you, oh yeah, and then of course this is the grab tool, this little pinch, with this little yellow with the pinch. And that is just to make the inside kind of uneven, because it's still, it's not like perfect, you're not going to get a perfect thing on a donut usually. Doesn't mean somebody couldn't do it, I suppose, but so yeah, so I'm trying to smooth it out, and I realized it's not smoothing it out. It's because I had the icing selected. So then I switched over to I don't know if you see it in here. Am I already working off of the donut itself? Yeah, I think, no. It's still the icing, right? Anyways. So, yeah. So I go back into layout, workspace, and then I go into object mode, select I should have selected I guess I'd already done that, because it looks like I'm playing with like the lights now and stuff. So I'm just playing with the light here. It's also a weird thing, and that's when I put this plane down, I noticed that the donut is actually uneven on the bottom. I didn't have some sort of some sort of mirror modifier, so I don't know why it's like skewed in half, or skewed off like this, because I don't remember like doing any rotating or anything. So it should have just been sitting on there flatly, and it doesn't for some weird reason. So I just kind of manually rotated it and fuzzed around with it till it looks the way I thought it should look. You can't really tell from some of the camera views that it's not actually sitting down, or it's not sitting down properly. Anyways, then I go and increase the then I go to increase the plane, and I realize that the donut is huge, and originally it wasn't huge. Originally it was small-ish, and it's supposed to be about 3.5 inches, something like that. What did it say, 5 centimeters, or I'm not sure if that's the right measurement, but something like that. So I resized it, and then now I'm playing with the lights, the strength, and all that stuff. And then we're using cycles, which is cool. In fact, I didn't really realize that when I switched to GPU compute, at first it wasn't working for some weird reason. It wasn't showing anything. But then after I kept switching around with it a little bit, then it started doing it. So you can see my finished donut in all its glory. And doesn't look half bad. And there it is. It's rendered. That's first. I should remember that because maybe I want to use that as my thumbnail. I'm not sure. Oh, it's white though, so I might just go ahead and add the color in it because a colorless image doesn't get as many clicks as a colored one. Anyways, just add a simple material for the background, and I like purple. That's, you know, the deep grape, you know, grape purple basically, not you know, not like pastel purples or whatever, but in any case. And that's about it. And that's pretty much what I did today. And I wish it hadn't stopped there because now I have to actually reopen it. But that doesn't really matter right now. So, yeah. You know, I guess I don't need to talk on every quote-unquote time-lapse, even though mine's not technically time-lapse. Most people, when they do time-lapses, they'll just, you know, they might put some text or they put some background music. I just decided to, you know, kind of annotate what I did. So it gives you some idea. And then, of course, I have the keys showing on the screen. Although playing at 8 times speed, it's kind of hard to tell which keys do what and all that. So, anyways, I want to thank you for watching. And let's blow me back up here. Thanks for watching. Again, please, you know, like it, comment on it, whatever. And I will see you tomorrow. Where tomorrow I'll do some more on it. I should probably have the tutorial done not too long, a week maybe at the most. So you won't have that many videos here. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you the next time.